In 1998, the entire Bennett family vanished from their home on Willow Creek Road. No signs of struggle, no blood, no bodies. The television was still on when the police arrived. Dinner sat untouched on the kitchen table, and the family car remained parked in the driveway with the keys inside. It became the most infamous unsolved case in Oregon history. For 28 years, nobody discovered what happened inside the Bennett house until Olivia Carter received the package. It arrived on a rainy Thursday morning without the return address. Inside was an old cassette tape labeled simply Bennett House, August 14, 1998. Olivia started it from her apartment desk in Seattle. As an investigative journalist known for reopening cold cases, she received strange mail often, but this felt different. The tape was accompanied by the single type sentence, "You were right to doubt the father." Her stomach tightened. Years earlier, Olivia had written a controversial article arguing that Daniel Bennett, the missing father, had been unfairly portrayed as the prime suspect despite no evidence connecting him to disappearance. Most people believed he had murdered his wife and his children before fleeing. Olivia never did. Now someone wanted her attention. By evening, she drove toward the abandoned town of Hollow Pine, where a Bennett house still stood behind police buried and overgrown weeds. Rain fell steadily through the dark forest surrounding the property. Sheriff Marcus Hale waited on the porch when she arrived. "You shouldn't have come alone," he said. Marcus was older now than when Olivia first met him during the original investigation. Gray touched his breath, but his sharp eyes remained unchanged. "You got my message," Olivia said. "I got worried." She handed him the cassette tape. Marcus frowned immediately. "Where did this come from?" "No idea." Inside the house, dust coated every surface like ash. The furniture remained untouched since the disappearances, perceived as if the Bennett's midnight return at any moment. Olivia shrugged. "It still felt wrong in here." Marcus nodded silently. They found an old cassette player in the living room. Olivia inserted the tape carefully. Static cracked. Then a woman's voice emerged. "If someone finds this, please listen carefully." Olivia exchanged a glance with Marcus. It was Laura Bennett. "We made a mistake," the voice continued shakily. "Then I found something in the woods behind Hollow Pine, something buried." A loud thumping interrupted the recording. Laura gasped. Then another voice whispered urgently, "They're outside." The tape ended abruptly. Silence filled the room. Marcus looked pale. This was never in evidence. Olivia replayed the final second repeatedly. She whispered silently, "What?" In the background, Marcus listened closely. Faint beneath the static came a metallic sound, a bell. Olivia froze. "I know that sound." Marcus frowned. "From where?" "The old church near Black Hollow Lake." Marcus stared at her. "The two burned down years ago." Not completely. An hour later, they drove through the forest road toward the ruins of St. Mercy Chapel. Fog drifted between blackened trees while lightning flickered far beyond the mountains. The church skeleton still stood near the lake, half collapsed, unforgotten. As they searched the ruins with flashlights, Olivia noticed strange markings carved into the stone floor beneath fallen beams. Symbols, circles inserting with triangles. Marcus cursed quietly. "I've seen this before." "Where?" "In the Bennett basement." Olivia's pulse quickened. "What didn't you tell me back then?" Marcus hesitated. "Then we found evidence the family had been meeting with a religious group before disappearing. Cult activity? We couldn't prove it." Lightning illuminated the chapel ruins. At the far end of the structure stood a rusted iron hatch, partially hidden beneath debris. Olivia knelt beside it. Fresh scratch marked the metal. Someone had opened it recently. Marcus drew his gun slowly. The hatch groaned as they pulled it upward. Cold air rose from the darkness below. Stone steps descending on the ground. Olivia looked at Marcus carefully. "Still think I shouldn't have come alone?" He almost smiled. "Too late now." The underground tunnel stretched deep beneath the church. Moisture dripped from the ceiling while their flashlight beams trembled across ancient stone walls. Then Olivia stopped abruptly. Photographs, hundreds of them, covered the walls. Families, children, missing persons. Marcus stared in horror. Jesus Christ. Some photographs dated back 50 years. Others were recent. At the center of the chamber stood a wooden table covered with candles and journals. Olivia opened one carefully. Names filled every page, dates beside them, disappearances, deaths. And at the top of each entry, the offering accepted. Marcus turned pale. This wasn't a cult. What then? Before he could answer, footsteps echoed somewhere deeper in the tunnel. Both froze instantly. The footsteps grew louder, slow, deliberate. Marcus raised his gun toward the darkness. A figure emerged wearing a long black raincoat, all thin, white-haired. Olivia recognized him immediately. Pastor Elias Grayson. Officially, he had died in a nursing home 11 years earlier, but there he stood, smiling faintly beneath the flickering flashlight beams. "You shouldn't have returned here," he said calmly. Marcus stepped forward. "Where is the Bennett family?" The old man sighed. "Where they were chosen." Olivia fought to control her voice. "Chosen for what?" Grayson looked almost disappointed by the question. "To protect Hollow Pine." Thunder roamed above them. "The families who founded this town made an agreement long ago," Grayson continued. "When darkness came from the forest, sacrifice preserved the balance." Marcus snapped. "You expect us to believe this insanity?" But Olivia noticed something worse. Marcus sounded afraid. Grayson smiled toward the sheriff. "You already know it's true." Olivia turned sharply. "What does he mean?" Marcus lowered his weapon slowly. 28 years of guilt filled his eyes. When he searched the Bennett property, he whispered, "We found tunnels beneath the house leading into the forest." Olivia stared at him in disbelief. "Who hid that?" "We sealed them." Marcus looked broken. 3 officers entered those tunnels, and they never came back. Silence crushed the chamber. Grayson stepped closer. Daniel Bennett discovered the truth buried beneath Hollow Pine. He tried to flee with his family. The old man's smile faded, but the forest does not release what belongs to it. Olivia backed away instinctively. "No," she whispered. "This is madness." Then came the sound, a long distant howl echoing through the tunnels beneath them. Not human, not animal, something else. Marcus' face lost all color. Grayson closed his eyes peacefully. "It's awake." The candles extinguished instantly. Darkness swallowed the chamber. Olivia heard movement all around them, fast, scraping against stones. Marcus grabbed her arm. "Run!" They sprinted through the tunnels, and unseen sounds chased them from below. The earth itself seemed alive, groaning below Hollow Pine. Olivia reached the staircase first and climbed desperately toward the hatch. Marcus followed, then stopped suddenly. Olivia turned. Something moved in the darkness behind him, a shape impossibly tall unfolding from the tunnel shadows. Marcus shoved Olivia outward violently. "Close it!" Screamed his name as he fired rapidly into the darkness. The gunshots echoed on the ground, then silence. Olivia slammed the hatch shut with trembling hands. Ron poured across the room, toppled as he collapsed beside the iron door, sobbing uncontrollably. Below her came one final sound from the darkness beneath Hollow Pine. 3 slow knocks. Then nothing. By summer, state police searched the tunnels. They found no bodies, no Pastor Grayson, no Sheriff Marcus Hale. Official reports claimed the underground structure collapsed during investigation, case unresolved. But months later, Olivia published her findings anyway. Most readers call it fiction, conspiracy, delusion. Only one detail remained undisputed. After 28 years, someone finally solved the Bennett disappearance. The terrible truth was simply worse than anyone imagined.